The alarm bells rang loud across the command center on the hidden moon base. Captain Daeho Kim ran to his station and looked at the screens. His heart beat fast as he saw the dots moving toward Earth. 200 alien ships were coming straight at them. "Hana, get me a better reading on those ships," Daeho said to his communications officer. Hana Park pressed buttons on her control panel. Her face went pale as the numbers came up on screen. "Captain, these ships are huge. Each one is 3 times bigger than our largest battleship. They have weapons we have never seen before," Hana said. Her voice shook a little. Boram Lee sat at the tactical station. She was the best at reading enemy movements. "Sir, they are moving in attack formation. This is not a peaceful visit. They want to invade Earth." Daeho felt sick in his stomach. Earth had no ships that could fight these aliens. The human space fleet was still small and weak. These aliens could destroy every city on Earth in one day. Far away in space, Admiral Kale Thor stood on the bridge of his flagship. He was tall with gray skin and 4 arms. His species had conquered 50 planets. Earth would be number 51. "Send word to the Galactic Council," Kale Thor told his second-in-command. "Tell them we will have Earth under control in 3 days. The humans cannot stop us." The other aliens on the bridge laughed. They had seen Earth through their spy drones. Humans still use simple rockets to reach space. They had no energy shields or plasma weapons. This would be the easiest conquest ever. Back on the moon base, Daeho watched the alien fleet get closer. They were now past Jupiter and heading toward the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. In a few hours, they would reach Earth. "Should we warn Earth?" Hana asked. "People deserve to know what is coming." Daeho thought about this. If they told Earth about the alien invasion, it would cause panic. Millions of people would try to run, but there was nowhere to go. Maybe it was better to let people live their last few hours in peace. "Not yet," Daeho said. "Wait until they pass Mars, then we send the warning." Boram was still watching her screens. Something strange was happening. The alien ships had reached the asteroid belt, but now their signals were getting weaker. "Captain, I am losing contact with the alien fleet," Boram said. "Their signals are breaking up." Daeho rushed to her station. The 200 red dots on the screen were fading. One by one, they disappeared completely. "Check your equipment," Daeho ordered. "This must be a mistake." Boram ran tests on all her machines. Everything worked perfectly. "Sir, the equipment is fine. The alien ships are just gone." Hana tried to contact the alien fleet on all radio frequencies. She heard nothing but empty space. "Captain, there is no signal at all. It is like they never existed." 3 days later, the Galactic Council met in emergency session. They had lost contact with Admiral Kale Thor and his entire fleet. This had never happened before in their long history of conquest. "Send another fleet," ordered Council Leader Vex Prime. "Make this one bigger." 500 ships from the Vaxillian Armada. Admiral Zorth Keel took command of the second invasion fleet. His ships were even more powerful than the first ones. The Vaxillians had weapons that could crack planets in half. On Earth, Taijin Choi worked in his laboratory. He was a scientist who studied alien life. For weeks, strange metal pieces had been floating past Mars. Space collectors brought the pieces back to Earth for him to examine. The metal was unlike anything humans had ever made. It was stronger than steel but lighter than aluminum. The pieces showed signs of extreme heat damage, as if something had melted them with incredible fire. "Where are these coming from?" Taijin asked himself. The metal pieces came from the direction of the asteroid belt. Something big had been destroyed out there. The second alien fleet reached Jupiter right on schedule. Admiral Zorth Keel was confident. His ships had shields that could stop any attack. His weapons could destroy a moon with one shot. "Humans will bow before the might of the Vaxillian Armada," Zorth Keel announced to his crew. But as the fleet entered the asteroid belt, the same thing happened again. One by one, the ships vanished from all sensors. 500 of the galaxy's most powerful warships simply disappeared. On the moon base, Daeho and his team watched in shock. Another massive alien fleet had just vanished into nothing. "This makes no sense," Hana said. "What could destroy so many ships so quickly?" Boram studied the sensor readings from both attacks. "Captain, both fleets disappeared in the same area of the asteroid belt. There is something out there." The Galactic Council was now afraid. They had lost 700 ships and still had no idea what happened to them. Some council members said Earth must have secret weapons. Others thought there might be another alien race protecting the humans. "Send the Kryn war machine," Council Leader Vex Prime ordered. If something is hiding in Earth's system, the Kryn will find it and destroy it. The Kryn were the most feared warriors in the galaxy. Their ships looked like giant metal spiders with weapons covering every surface. They had never lost a battle. War Master Gaxtor led 1,000 Kryn warships toward Earth. His species had no fear. They lived only to fight and conquer. Whatever destroyed the others will not stop us, Gaxtor growled to his warriors. We are Kryn. We are death itself. The Third Fleet was twice as large as the first two combined. Earth's governments finally noticed something was wrong. Too many alien signals had appeared and disappeared near their solar system. President Naun Cho called an emergency meeting of world leaders. In a secret bunker deep under Seoul, she spoke to the heads of every major nation. Our space monitoring stations have detected 3 separate alien fleets approaching Earth, she told them. All 3 fleets have vanished before reaching our planet. The room fell silent. Every leader knew what this meant. Earth was under attack, but something was protecting them. The question was what? And how long would this protection last? As the Kryn fleet entered the asteroid belt, War Master Gaxtor prepared for battle. His sensors showed thousands of floating rocks, but nothing else. Where was the enemy that had destroyed 2 previous fleets? Then, without warning, his flagship shook violently. Explosions erupted across the Kryn formation. In minutes, 1,000 of the galaxy's deadliest warships were nothing but floating debris. The Galactic Council received the news in stunned silence. Something near Earth had just destroyed 3 of their most powerful invasion fleets. Whatever protected that small blue planet was far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. Commander Siwoo Yang put on his spacesuit and checked all the seals. His small stealth ship was ready to launch from the hidden base on Mars. His mission was dangerous but necessary. Earth needed to know what was destroying the alien fleets. "Are you sure about this, Commander?" asked Yu Jinseo, his pilot. She was young but had flown more dangerous missions than most veterans. "If something out there can destroy 1,000 alien warships, what chance do we have?" Siwoo smiled behind his helmet visor. "That is exactly why we need to go. We have to find out what is protecting Earth before more aliens come." The crew was small but skilled. Wu Bin-jan was their engineer. He could fix anything that broke and make their ship invisible to most sensors. Yun Jinam was their scientist. She would study whatever they found in the asteroid belt. Their ship, the Silent Arrow, was built for sneaking around without being seen. It had no weapons, only the best hiding technology Earth could make. If they met trouble, running away was their only option. The journey to the asteroid belt took 6 hours. As they got closer, Yunji started picking up strange readings on her instruments. "Commander, there is a lot of metal debris out here," she said. "Much more than there should be." Yujin flew the ship carefully between the floating rocks. What they saw next made everyone gasp in shock. Scattered among the asteroids were pieces of alien ships, thousands and thousands of pieces. "This is not from 3 fleets," Wu Bin said, looking at his screens. "This debris field goes on for millions of miles. There are pieces from dozens of different alien species here." Siwoo felt cold fear in his chest. This meant alien fleets had been disappearing near Earth for much longer than anyone knew. How many had tried to invade their planet? Yunji used her scanners to examine the wreckage more closely. "Commander, some of these pieces are very old. This one here shows dating that goes back over 100 years. "That is impossible," Yujin said. "Humans were not even in space 100 years ago. We had no way to fight aliens back then." Siwoo thought about this. If aliens had been trying to invade Earth for over a century, and something had been stopping them all this time, then whatever protected Earth was not human. They flew deeper into the debris field. The pieces of alien ships were everywhere. Some were tiny fragments no bigger than a person's hand. Others were huge chunks of hull that had once been part of massive warships. "Look at the damage patterns," Yunji said, pointing to her screen. "These ships were not destroyed by explosions or collisions. Something cut through them with incredible precision." Wu Bin examined the metal fragments they collected. "The cuts are perfectly clean. Whatever made them was sharper than any tool we know about, and hot enough to seal the cuts instantly." On Earth, Minho Kang sat in the Global Defense Command Center. He was the best military mind on the planet, but this situation confused him completely. His computers showed the locations where alien fleets had vanished. They all disappeared in the same area of the asteroid belt. "Sir, we are getting reports from the investigation team," his assistant told him. "They have found debris from many more alien fleets than we thought." Minho studied the new data. The pattern was clear. For over 100 years, any alien force that approached Earth with hostile intent had been destroyed in the asteroid belt. Something was actively protecting Earth. Back on the Silent Arrow, the crew continued their investigation. They found pieces from species they had never seen before. Some of the metal was made from materials that did not exist naturally in their solar system. "Commander, I am picking up energy readings from some of the asteroids," Yunji said. "These readings are not natural. Some of these rocks are giving off power signatures." Yujin flew them toward the nearest asteroid that showed energy readings. As they got closer, their instruments started acting strange. "My controls are not responding properly," Yujin said. "Something is interfering with our ship's systems." Suddenly, the asteroid in front of them changed. What had looked like a normal rock began to shift and move. Panels opened on its surface, revealing metal structures underneath. "That is not an asteroid," Wubin said in amazement. "That is some kind of artificial construction." The fake asteroid was huge, bigger than most space stations. Now that they could see it clearly, they noticed weapon ports and sensor arrays covering its surface. It had been perfectly disguised to look like a natural rock. "There are more of them," Yunji said, checking her sensors. "Dozens of these fake asteroids are scattered throughout this area. They form a defensive network around Earth." Saiwu realized they had found the answer to the mystery. These hidden weapons platforms were what had been destroying alien fleets for over a century. But who had built them? The fake asteroids did not attack the Silent Arrow. Instead, they seemed to scan the small Earth ship and then ignore it. Whatever intelligence controlled them could tell the difference between human explorers and alien invaders. "We need to get this information back to Earth," Siwu said. "This changes everything we thought we knew about our place in the galaxy." As they prepared to leave, Yunji made one more discovery. Her long-range scanners detected similar energy signatures throughout the outer solar system. The defensive network was much larger than they had first thought. "Commander, there are hundreds of these hidden platforms. They surround Earth completely. Any alien fleet trying to approach our planet would have to pass through multiple layers of defense." The journey back to Mars was quiet. Each crew member was thinking about what they had discovered. Earth was not alone in the galaxy. Something had been protecting their planet for over a century, long before humans even knew aliens existed. Dr. So Young-an was waiting for them at the Mars base. She was Earth's top expert on unknown energy sources. When Yunji showed her the readings from the fake asteroids, her face went pale. "These energy signatures are unlike anything in our databases," So Young said. "The technology that created them is far beyond what any known species possesses." She ran more tests on the data. "The power sources are completely clean, with no radiation or waste products. And the energy output is enormous. Each platform generates more power than our largest nuclear reactors." Saiwu gathered his crew for a final briefing before they reported to Earth Command. "What we have found today will shock the world. We are not alone in the solar system. We have guardians we never knew existed." "But who are they?" Yujin asked. "And why are they protecting us?" "Those are the questions we need to answer next," Siwu replied. "But first we need to tell Earth that we are not as defenseless as we thought." The message they sent to Earth was simple but world-changing. Hidden weapons platforms built by an unknown alien species had been protecting Earth for over 100 years. Humanity had guardians they never knew existed. World leaders gathered in emergency sessions to discuss this news. Some were relieved to know Earth had protection. Others worried about being dependent on alien technology they did not understand. President Neon Cho spoke for many when she said, "We must find out who our protectors are and why they chose to help us. Our future may depend on understanding their intentions." The investigation had answered one question but raised many more. Earth was protected, but by whom and for how long would this protection last? Jae-sung Lim had worked at the Deep Space Monitoring Station for 15 years. He knew the normal patterns of space traffic around Earth. Ships came and went on regular schedules. Satellites moved in predictable orbits. Everything followed the same routine day after day, but today was different. His long-range sensors were picking up movement in the asteroid belt, where no movement should exist. Large objects were shifting position, and they were doing it in a coordinated pattern. "Control, this is Deep Space Station 7, Jae-sung spoke into his communication device. "I am seeing unusual activity in Grid Sector 47 Alpha." The voice that answered belonged to his supervisor back on Earth. "Station 7, please clarify. What kind of activity?" Jae-sung looked at his screens again to make sure he was not making a mistake. Sir, multiple large objects are moving through the asteroid field. They are too big to be natural asteroids, and they are moving in formation. There was a long pause before his supervisor responded. Station 7, maintain observation and record everything. Do not attempt to make contact. As Jae-sung watched, more objects began to move. What had appeared to be a normal asteroid field was transforming before his eyes. Dozens of massive structures were revealing themselves, shedding their rock disguises like snakes shedding old skin. The structures were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. They were made of a dark metal that seemed to absorb light. Strange symbols glowed along their surfaces in colors that hurt to look at directly. Each structure was the size of a small city. On Earth, Kyunghwa-oh received an urgent message to report to the Global Defense Command Center. She was Earth's chief diplomat, responsible for first contact protocols with alien species. Her expertise was needed now more than ever. What we are about to show you is classified at the highest level, General Park told her as she entered the secure briefing room. 3 hours ago, we made contact with an alien intelligence. The main screen showed images from Jae-sung's monitoring station. Dozens of massive alien structures floated among the asteroids. They had been hidden there for who knew how long, disguised as natural rocks. They contacted us first, General Park continued. They sent a message directly to our communication networks. We have been trying to decode it for the past hour. Kyunghwa studied the alien message displayed on screen. It was not written in any human language, but somehow the meaning was clear in her mind when she looked at the symbols. I can understand it, she said in amazement. They are saying they want to talk. They have been waiting for us to discover them. Within hours, a direct communication link was established between Earth and the alien structures. The beings on the other end called themselves the Harbingers. They had been watching Earth for thousands of years. The Harbinger who spoke to them identified itself as Primary Construct 7742. Its voice came through their speakers as a calm, emotionless tone that somehow conveyed great intelligence and age. We have protected your species for 1,047 of your years, the Harbinger said. 23 invasion fleets have been eliminated to preserve your development. Kyunghwa felt her heart racing. Why? Why have you protected us? Your species shows promise. You have the potential to become something greater than you currently are, but this potential must be nurtured and protected until you are ready. Lieutenant Changmin Bayek was assigned to gather more information about the Harbingers. His job was to learn everything possible about their technology, their history, and their intentions toward humanity. What he discovered was both amazing and frightening. The Harbingers were not a natural species. They were artificial intelligences created by an ancient race that had vanished millions of years ago. Their creators had built them to find and nurture species that might one day inherit the galaxy. They are gardeners, Changmin reported to his superiors. They plant seeds of civilization throughout the galaxy and protect them until they are ready to grow on their own. The Harbingers had been doing this for millions of years. They had watched over hundreds of developing species, guiding their evolution and protecting them from threats. Some species had succeeded and joined the galactic community. Others had failed and been allowed to destroy themselves. What determines success or failure? Kyunghwa asked during one of her conversations with Primary Construct 7742. The ability to move beyond primitive aggression while retaining the strength to defend what is important. Your species has shown this potential, but the test is not complete. On a hidden research station orbiting Neptune, Dr. Hye-won Kim made a discovery that changed everything they thought they knew about humanity itself. She had been studying genetic samples from humans around the world, looking for any signs of alien influence. What she found was impossible to believe at first. Hidden in human DNA were genetic markers that matched technology found in Harbinger debris. Humans were not just protected by the Harbingers. They were partially descended from them. This explains why we have been advancing so quickly, Hye-won told the research team. Our technological development over the past century has been unusually rapid. We have had help. The genetic evidence showed that sometime in humanity's distant past, Harbinger genetic material had been introduced into the human bloodline. This had enhanced human intelligence and creativity, making them more likely to develop the qualities the Harbingers were looking for. But there was more. The genetic modifications were not random. They had been carefully designed to activate at specific points in human development. As humanity matured as a species, New abilities would begin to manifest. We are not just another species they are protecting, HFY realized. We are their chosen successors. They have been preparing us to take their place as guardians of the galaxy. This revelation was shared with only the highest levels of Earth's government. The knowledge that humanity had been genetically modified by ancient aliens was too dangerous to release to the public. It would cause panic and destroy faith in human achievement. Primary Construct 7742 confirmed what the genetic evidence suggested. Your species was selected for enhancement 3,000 years ago. The genetic modifications have been slowly activating as your civilization developed the wisdom to use them responsibly. What happens when the modifications are complete? Kyunghwa asked. You will have the ability to do what we do, to watch over developing species and guide their growth, to protect the innocent and stop those who would destroy others for conquest. The Harbingers explained that this was part of a galactic cycle that had repeated many times. Each generation of guardians would eventually pass their responsibilities to a worthy successor species. The Harbingers themselves had inherited their role from an even older race. But the choice must be yours to make, Primary Construct 7742 said. We cannot force you to accept this responsibility. If you choose to remain as you are, we will continue to protect you, but you will never reach your full potential. Earth's leaders were faced with an impossible decision. Accept the role of galactic guardians and inherit incredible power and responsibility, or remain under the protection of the Harbingers as a developing species forever. Some argued that humanity was not ready for such responsibility. War still raged on Earth and many people were still driven by greed and hatred. How could they be trusted with the power to guide other species? Others believed that this was humanity's destiny. The genetic modifications were already there. The potential was waiting to be unlocked. They just needed the courage to embrace it. We need more time, Kyunghwa told Primary Construct 7742 during their final conversation of the day. This decision will affect not just our species but potentially the entire galaxy. Time you shall have, the Harbinger replied. But know that other forces in the galaxy are becoming aware of Earth's protection. The Galactic Council grows suspicious. Soon, larger fleets will come, fleets too large for our automated defenses to stop completely. The message was clear. Humanity could not remain hidden forever. Soon they would have to choose their path, whether they felt ready or not. The peaceful days of secret protection were coming to an end. Dr. Hyewan Kim stood in her laboratory, staring at the genetic analysis results displayed on multiple screens around her. For 3 weeks she had been studying human DNA, samples from every continent on Earth. What, she had discovered, would change humanity's understanding of itself forever. The modifications are everywhere, she said to her research assistant. Every human being on Earth carries Harbinger genetic markers. We are all part of this experiment. The genetic enhancement was not something that had happened to a few people. It was woven into the very foundation of human evolution. The Harbingers had not just influenced humanity's development. They had actively shaped what humans would become. Her computer finished analyzing the most recent DNA sample. The results showed the same pattern she had seen in every other test. Dormant genetic sequences that matched Harbinger technology, waiting to activate when certain conditions were met. Dr. Kim, you need to see this, her assistant said, pointing to a new screen. I have been comparing modern human DNA to samples from ancient human remains. The changes started appearing about 3,000 years ago. The evidence was clear. 3,000 years ago, something had altered human genetic structure. The modifications had been introduced gradually, spread through the population over many generations. By now, every person on Earth was a descendant of this genetic enhancement. Across the city, Junho Park sat in the military history archives, surrounded by old books and computer files. He was a historian who specialized in studying patterns in human warfare. His current assignment was to look for any signs of outside influence in Earth's conflicts. What he found disturbed him greatly. Throughout human history, major wars had ended in strange ways. Critical battles had been decided by mysterious equipment failures. Important leaders had died at exactly the right moments to prevent total destruction. The American Civil War should have lasted much longer, Junho muttered to himself as he read through battle reports. But key Confederate supply lines failed for no apparent reason. The weapons they needed simply stopped working. He found similar patterns in dozens of conflicts. World War I had ended when several nations simultaneously experienced massive industrial accidents that crippled their war production. World War II had concluded after mysterious technical failures plagued Nazi Germany's most advanced weapons. Someone has been interfering with our wars, Junho realized, keeping them from becoming too destructive, while still allowing us to learn and grow from the conflict. The pattern extended beyond just major wars. Natural disasters that should have wiped out entire civilizations had been mysteriously less devastating than predicted. Plagues that should have ended human civilization had burned out faster than they should have. Humanity had been protected and guided throughout its entire history, but the protection had been subtle, almost invisible. It looked like luck or coincidence, but it had happened too many times to be random. Meanwhile, in orbit around Earth, the Global Defense Station received an urgent message. High Admiral Vex Quinn of the Galactic Council was approaching with a diplomatic fleet. This was the first time alien leaders had come to Earth openly, not as invaders but as negotiators. Captain Do-hyun Shin was chosen to lead Earth's first official contact with the Galactic Council. He was a veteran space officer who had commanded several successful missions. More importantly, he was known for staying calm under pressure. Remember, they do not know about the Harbingers. General Park briefed him before the meeting. As far as they know, Earth has some unknown defensive technology. We cannot reveal the truth about our guardians. Do-hyun understood the delicate situation. Earth needed to appear strong enough to defend itself, but not so threatening that the Galactic Council would see them as a danger. It was a careful balance to maintain. The alien diplomatic ship was impressive but not warlike. It was designed to show peaceful intentions, while still demonstrating the technological superiority of the Galactic Council. When High Admiral Vex Quinn appeared on the communication screen, he looked curious rather than hostile. "Greetings, representatives of Earth," Vex Quinn said in perfect English. "We come seeking understanding. Your solar system has become a mystery that troubles our entire civilization." Do-hyun chose his words carefully. "We welcome peaceful contact with your people. Perhaps we can find common ground and mutual understanding. 23 of our invasion fleets have vanished near your world," Vex Quinn continued. "Our sensors detect no weapons capable of such destruction, yet the evidence of our losses is undeniable. Perhaps those fleets met with accidents," Do-hyun suggested. "Space travel can be dangerous, especially for those unfamiliar with our solar system." Back on Earth, Soo-min Lee was analyzing thousands of years of human cultural development. She was an anthropologist who studied how civilizations grew and changed over time. Her assignment was to look for signs of outside guidance in humanity's cultural evolution. What she found was a pattern of accelerated development that defied natural explanation. Human technology had advanced at an incredible pace over the past few centuries. What should have taken thousands of years of natural development had happened in just a few hundred. "Look at this timeline," she told her research team. "We went from horse-drawn carriages to space travel in less than 200 years. That kind of advancement is virtually impossible without help. The acceleration had not been random. Key discoveries had always happened at exactly the right times. When humanity needed new energy sources, nuclear power was discovered. When they needed to communicate globally, radio and television were invented. When they needed to reach space, rocket technology suddenly advanced rapidly. Someone has been guiding our technological development, Soo-min concluded, giving us the tools we needed exactly when we needed them, but making it look like natural human achievement. The evidence suggested that humanity's rapid advancement was not due to their own brilliance alone. They had been carefully guided and assisted by intelligence that understood exactly what they would need for each stage of their development. In the diplomatic meeting, High Admiral Vex Quinn was becoming more direct. "We have analyzed the debris fields in your asteroid belt. The destruction patterns are consistent with technology far beyond what your species should possess." Do-hyun felt sweat on his forehead. The alien leader was getting too close to the truth. "Our scientists are always working on new innovations. Perhaps some of our experimental technologies were more effective than expected." "Show us these technologies," Vex Quinn demanded. "If Earth has developed defenses capable of stopping our fleets, the Galactic Council needs to understand their capabilities." This was the moment Do-hyun had been dreading. Earth had no weapons that could destroy alien fleets. If he admitted this, the aliens might discover the truth about the Harbingers. But if he lied, they might demand a demonstration that Earth could not provide. Our defensive capabilities are classified, Do-hyun said finally. I am sure you understand the need to protect sensitive military information. High Admiral Vex Quinn studied Do-hyun carefully. The alien leader was intelligent and experienced. He could sense that something was being hidden from him. Perhaps we could arrange a limited demonstration, Vex Quinn suggested, something to show the peaceful intentions of both our peoples. Before Do-hyun could respond, his communication officer whispered urgently in his ear. Sir, we are receiving a message from the Harbinger Network. They want to speak directly to the Galactic Council representative. Do-hyun's heart stopped. If the Harbingers revealed themselves, it would change everything. The careful diplomatic balance he was trying to maintain would collapse completely. Hi, Admiral. We have just received a communication from our defensive network, Do-hyun said carefully. They wish to address you directly. The main screen flickered and primary construct 7742 appeared. The Harbinger's artificial form was imposing and clearly alien. High Admiral Vex Quinn stepped backward in shock. Greetings, representatives of the Galactic Council, the Harbinger said in its calm, emotionless voice. We are the Harbingers. We have been the guardians of this system for over 1,000 years. Vex Quinn's face went pale with fear and recognition. The Harbingers. You are legends, stories told to frighten young civilizations. You are supposed to be extinct. We are very much active, Primary Construct 7742 replied. And we have chosen this species as our successors. Earth is under our protection until humanity is ready to assume our role as galactic guardians. The truth was finally revealed. Earth's mysterious defenses were not human technology. They were the work of the most advanced guardian race in galactic history. And humanity was being prepared to inherit their incredible responsibility. Commander Tae-Yang Hong stood on the bridge of humanity's first Harbinger-enhanced vessel. The ship was unlike anything humans had ever built before. It was made of living metal that responded to thoughts and emotions. The weapons could disable enemy fleets without destroying them. The shields could protect entire planets. Are you ready for this responsibility? Primary Construct 7742 asked through the ship's communication system. Once you accept our technology, there is no going back. Humanity will become the guardians of this galaxy. Tae-Yang looked out at Earth through the ship's viewscreen. His home planet looked so small and peaceful from this distance. It was hard to believe that the people on that blue world were about to make a decision that would affect countless alien civilizations. We understand the weight of this choice, Tae-Yang replied, but we also understand that hiding under your protection forever is not an option. The Galactic Council grows stronger. Soon they will send fleets too large for even you to stop. 3 days earlier, President Na-Yoon Choi had called an emergency meeting of the Global Defense Council. Representatives from every nation on Earth gathered in the secure bunker beneath Seoul. The decision they had to make would determine humanity's future among the stars. The Harbingers have given us an ultimatum. President Cho announced to the assembled leaders, accept the role of galactic guardians or remain forever dependent on their protection. The debate that followed was intense. Prime Minister Yamato of Japan argued that humanity was not ready for such responsibility. We still have wars on our own planet. How can we be trusted to guide other species? Chancellor Muller of Germany disagreed. This is our destiny. The genetic modifications are already within us. We just need the courage to embrace what we are meant to become. President Rodriguez of Brazil raised a practical concern. If we refuse, what happens when the Galactic Council sends a fleet too large for the Harbingers to stop? We could be enslaved or destroyed. The argument continued for hours. Some leaders feared the responsibility of galactic guardianship. Others feared the consequences of refusing it. But in the end, the decision came down to a simple choice: evolve or remain stagnant. We vote, President Cho announced. All in favor of accepting the Harbinger inheritance? Slowly, hands rose around the room. One by one, the leaders of Earth voted to accept humanity's role as the new galactic guardians. The vote was not unanimous, but it was decisive. Admiral Jin Woo-no received the first assignment to test humanity's readiness for galactic peacekeeping. 2 alien civilizations, the Kalani and the Thras, had been fighting over a resource-rich star system for over 50 years. Their war had killed millions and showed no signs of ending. This will be your first test, Primary Construct 7742 explained. Stop the war without destroying either side. Show that humanity can resolve conflicts through wisdom rather than superior firepower. Jinwoo took a small fleet of hybrid human harbinger ships to the contested system. The technology was amazing but also overwhelming. He could destroy both alien fleets with a thought, but that was not the goal. He needed to find a way to make peace. When he arrived at the battlefield, both alien fleets prepared to attack his small force. They had never seen ships like his before and assumed he was there to claim the system for himself. "This is Admiral Jinwoo No of Earth," he broadcast to both fleets. "I come as a mediator. Your war has gone on long enough. It is time to find a peaceful solution." The Kalani Admiral responded first. "Humans? We have heard rumors about your species. You are the ones protected by ancient guardians. We are the ones who inherited the Guardian legacy," Jinwoo replied. "And our first duty is to end unnecessary conflicts like yours." What happened next amazed everyone present. Jinwoo's ships created an energy field that disabled all weapons on both alien fleets. The ships could still move and communicate, but they could not fire their guns or launch missiles. "You will talk," Jinwoo announced. "You will find a solution that allows both your peoples to prosper, or you will sit here until you starve." For 3 days, the alien admirals refused to negotiate. They had been fighting for so long that they had forgotten what they were originally fighting about. But as their supplies ran low and their crews grew restless, they finally agreed to listen. Jinwoo mediated between the two sides. He learned that the resource-rich planets in the system could easily support both civilizations if they shared them properly. The war had started over pride and misunderstanding, not genuine need. "The Kalani are skilled miners," Jinwoo pointed out. "The Thras are excellent farmers. Each planet has both mineral resources and fertile soil. Work together and everyone benefits." It took careful negotiation, but eventually both sides saw the wisdom in cooperation. They signed a peace treaty that divided the system fairly and established trade agreements that would benefit both civilizations. When Jinwoo returned to Earth, he brought news of humanity's first success as galactic peacekeepers. The test had shown that humans could resolve conflicts without violence, using wisdom and patience instead of superior weapons. But not everyone was pleased with humanity's new role. High Admiral Vex Quinn had returned to the Galactic Council with disturbing news. Earth was protected by the legendary Harbingers and was being prepared to replace them as Galactic Guardians. "This cannot be allowed," Council Leader Zex Prime declared. "If the humans become the new Guardians, they will have power over every civilization in the galaxy. We must stop them before they become too strong." The Galactic Council made a fateful decision. They would gather the largest invasion fleet in galactic history. Ships from 100 different worlds would converge on Earth. Even the Harbingers could not stop such a massive force. Fleet Commander Aerie Moon was chosen to command Earth's defense against the coming invasion. She stood on the bridge of the Guardian flagship, watching as thousands of alien ships approached the solar system. "This would be the ultimate test of humanity's new role. They outnumber us 50 to 1, her tactical officer reported. "Even with Harbinger technology, we cannot defeat them all in direct combat." Aerie smiled calmly. "We are not here to defeat them. We are here to show them a better way." As the massive alien fleet entered the asteroid belt, they expected to face the same fate as previous invasion forces, but instead of being destroyed, they found themselves surrounded by a different kind of power. Every ship in the Galactic Council fleet suddenly lost the ability to fire their weapons. Their targeting system shut down. Their missiles refused to launch. But their ships were undamaged and their crews unharmed. "This is Fleet Commander Aerie Moon of the Earth Guardian Force," she broadcast to the alien fleet. "You came here to conquer and destroy. Instead, you will learn." What followed was the most comprehensive demonstration of advanced technology the galaxy had ever seen. The human Harbinger fleet showed capabilities that seemed like magic to the watching aliens. Planets were moved to better orbital positions with gentle gravitational fields. Dead worlds were brought back to life with atmospheric processors. Diseased populations were healed with medical technology that worked on any species. "This is what Guardians do," Aerie explained to the stunned alien commanders. "We do not conquer or destroy. We protect and nurture. We help civilizations grow beyond their primitive conflicts." High Admiral Vex Quinn watched in amazement as human ships demonstrated the power to create rather than destroy. His massive invasion fleet had become an audience for the greatest display of peaceful technology in galactic history. "How?" he asked in wonder. "How do you have such power and choose not to use it for conquest?" "Because conquest achieves nothing," Ari replied. "Destroyed civilizations cannot grow or contribute to the galaxy. Our purpose is to help everyone reach their full potential." One by one, the ships of the Galactic Council fleet powered down their weapons and requested permission to learn more about the Guardian philosophy. The largest invasion fleet in history had been transformed into the first graduating class of a new galactic academy. In the months that followed, Captain Minseo Yoon commanded the first human harbinger hybrid vessel to patrol beyond the solar system. Her mission was to protect developing civilizations and mediate conflicts between established powers. The galaxy was changing. Where once there had been endless wars over resources and territory, now there were negotiations and cooperative agreements. The new Guardians had shown that there was a better way to live among the stars. Primary Construct 7742 spoke to humanity one final time before the Harbinger network began its long shutdown. "You have exceeded our expectations. Your species has embraced the Guardian role with wisdom and compassion. The galaxy is in good hands." Earth had become the center of a new galactic civilization based on cooperation rather than conquest. The mystery of the vanishing fleets had led to humanity's greatest transformation. They had evolved from a primitive species hiding behind ancient protectors to the new guardians of galactic peace. The vanishing fleets had not been destroyed by Earth's weapons. They had been eliminated by the patient wisdom of beings who understood that true strength came not from the power to destroy, but from the wisdom to protect and nurture. And now that wisdom lived on in humanity, ready to guide the galaxy toward a brighter future.